Oh, hello and greetings. Back down here at the other shop tonight for give you a little quick update on the projects going on down here if you've been following along. I've been working on my Lincoln Continental down here and made some progress. You can see we got the hood back on, got all the coverings off of it now, and then it is running, though I'm waiting for a new exhaust system, so that I'm hoping will be here this week. The classic push button door handles. Got the front seat back in it, and it needs a little oil on a hinge. But of course the back seat was always in, but like I said, I got the front seat in it. Everything's all back together in here. It seems to be working pretty well. And then of course I've gone through all the brakes. I still have to put the hubcaps and the fender skirts back on in the back, clean the tires. The car needs cleaned pretty thoroughly, but the one problem I had when I originally brought this home was this light. Well, this light was broken, and somebody had hit it, and it also smashed the hubcap, and I actually broke this emblem, and I got lucky. I found a new old stock cap, but I needed the emblem, and I got hold of another cap, and that was, the back side of it was rusted away, but this emblem was good, and I got it for a really good price. I just hit by it now and said ship it to me. But this light here, I painted it, got the best paint match I could. On camera, it probably doesn't look too bad. I wish it was just a hair darker, but it's pretty close. Just did it by eye at the parts store, just spray can paint. And then, of course, you know, it's got, and then it had new wiring in it. When I got this fixture, it had a new old stock socket set, a nice lens, and then somebody put reproduction wiring on it. And that all hooked up real good. The lights work really good back here now. All the lights work on the car. And we've got that part done. It's now, other than an exhaust system, is relatively, and I go like this, big quotes, relatively drivable. We still have a warped flywheel, so I am going to have to tear the transmission out yet again. And I'm going to have to engineer a solid flywheel to get rid of the flexible flywheel, because those flexible flywheels are just, quite frankly, garbage. It's a bad design, and I'm going to correct the problem and put it the way to make a new flywheel to put the car the way it should have been built in the first place. You can see the front here with the 42. That's all 42 only, of course. It looks so much better now. At least I had it covered up. It's pretty clean still, and it looks good from this angle. But anyway, the bumpers, getting that front bumper back on was no fun, but I finally got it. And the real eagle-eyed Lincoln people, and I've heard this pointed out before in other photographs I've shared on Facebook, but yes, those are post-war 46, 47, 48 bumpers. And I would dare say that probably this car's had these bumpers most of its life. The best I can figure, and that people did this back in the day, is they would take the bumpers off the cars during the war. They turned them in for scrap, and they get they get good money out of them because they recover the chrome, and this was also a real good high grade steel these were made out of. And they were almost kind of like a spring steel anyway. And they could get good, there was really high grade steel, and they really wanted it for the war effort. So a lot of people turned their bumpers in. But they didn't want to scrap their car, but they wanted to help with the war effort. And, so you got handed a plank of wood for a new bumper. So you had a bumper, and you turned in your bumpers. So a lot of cars from 42 don't have original bumpers. I've seen that before. By the way, they never made these as a blackout. That was mostly a GM thing. Some of the other independents did it, but it's mostly strictly a GM thing. There, I think a few Fords might have were blacked out, but no Lincolns, and to the best of my knowledge, no Packards were blackout model cars. So most of your really expensive cars, yes, they still had all their chrome on them. But I was down here and decided, well, I'll make another short video and turn around here, give a little camera time to the Packard. But I thought about it for a minute. I says, not too many people, when they open their, it's kind of an odd thing to see somebody they open their garage up, and the 3 cars you see in the garage, not many people I know have a Packard, a Lincoln, and we walk back here all the way to the back, and a Cadillac. We have an 85, that's my 85 Eldorado Baritz. It's just down here because I got the Hudson is over at my house. I've been driving the Hudson lately, so this is down here today. But yeah, we actually have the top 3, at least top 3 marks, late pre-war and early post-war. But and of course 2 personal luxury cars. And just for a short pointer, if it wasn't for this car, these Lincoln Continentals, and I apologize for the short camera work where I'm kind of close in, I don't have a lot of room down here, but this car would not have been a reality without this, for sure. So I might even, maybe we'll walk over and another Packard engine too. We'll walk by another 327 Packard engine. But of course this gives a good view of the steering wheel and all that. And it does show up pretty well on camera. Of course, this was one of the 8. There were only 8 42 Lincoln Continental coupes that were ever equipped with the Liquimatic. Of course, that's probably the reason why we have so many problems with this car, is this car was converted. And we'll give the hood a tug. And surprisingly enough, my hood went back on pretty much exactly where it was. It lined up, it wasn't very well lined up when I got the car. And it went back on exactly in the same spot it was. So put this camera down and I'll open the hood. Give a little view in here. I've been in here working, cleaning things up. Just kind of getting all this stuff tidied up in here. Of course, I got the aforementioned chrome acorn nuts. And by the way, if you buy these from Speedway, buy new head nuts. Just replace your head nuts. Your old head nuts are usually, they're twisted and distorted from being torqued on, and they won't fit on there. And I had to do a little polishing on the insides of every one of those and cleaning the head nuts really well with a Dremel tool to make them fit right. But the only thing I got left to do in here is I got to put the air cleaner back on. I got to get that back on. And then up here, these 2 things hanging down, that's where the horns mount. And got to reconnect the hood light wire and the horn wires because they hang up here. But and then I really need to do is get in here and kind of really clean the whole back of the firewall and just kind of go around and clean this up. It's got about, this probably got 50, 60 years worth of dust in here. I don't know. Good 50 years. This paint job is probably every bit 50 years old, if not almost 60 years old. So, and this car, this is not the original color. We know this is not the original paint. It's not the original color. This is actually painted. What's underneath this, though, is the original color. And on camera, this is probably going to look like primer, but I did the best I could. Let's see if I can't catch the light. But you can see my reflection. You can see my reflection in there. I buffed this back out. This is the original color. This is Sheldon Gray. And not very many were painted Sheldon Gray. It was I think this was actually a cost option color and was one of Edsel Ford's personal favorite colors on these cars. It was actually a color I think he had come up with. And one of the perks to that Sheldon Gray paint was you got a two-tone maroon and gray interior. So, which is kind of odd. Not seen too many with a two-tone interior. But nonetheless, a good-looking color. But I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm ever going to repaint this car. To do a proper paint job on this car, to put it back this color, is basically a full restoration. The whole car has to come completely apart. Everything has to be stripped to bare metal. Any filler work has to be done with lead and welding rod. Cannot use any Bondo because there is no Bondo in this car. They didn't have plastic fillers, and if you're going to do it, you have to do it right. So, but anyway, go ahead and shut the hood down. Sometimes it doesn't like to latch. I might have to readjust that. But anyway, other than that, of course, I've got the Packard over here. We had a blowout. I had a blowout on the 28th, back on the 28th of July. Happened to be my birthday, but we need new tires for the Packard. That's just a spare. But we're getting working on that soon enough. But with that, thought this just give a quick update. And everybody out there, have a good day. And thanks for watching.